Hello and greetings once again, everyone. Happy Friday, or possibly Saturday. Or if you're watching this stream in the future, greetings from the past. I'm Silver-Quill, and I'm here to welcome you all to another edition of Fulfillment Friday, as I skip ads to talk about my own stream and make sure I'm keeping up with AirBuddy. Speaking of AirBuddy, there are some folks I want to say hello to, including Commodore Steele, Brian Luna, Cherry Fluffbelly Official, Prince Apollo and Rodan, Deep Sea Stonecore, Battlecross. Let's see here, Kamen Rider Jetstorm, Evangelion 007, Pokemon Fire Eevee, Cosmina Inspira, Enderpup, Gaiety. Oh, it jumped on me. Let's see here. Jeff Okasinski, Chitty the Leo, Khalid Hussein, Parker Boots, and Xander. And let's see, over on Le Twitchy Twitch, because, well, I tried a dual stream. Hello, Blue Griffin. Good to have you here. Enderpup, you say today is a spooky day, but I'll have you know, my parents married on a Friday the 13th. That might explain a few things about me, but by and large, it's worked out in my favor in the long run. Oh, Jeff, I'm glad I got your name right. I was worried I, too, would butcher it. And let's see, Cosmina, how is the chicken horse? Tired. Tired is the chicken horse, for it has been a week of efforts and struggles and trying to be organized and the long battle that entails. But before I go further, also over on Twitch, we have, okay, Raise as LP. I don't know if I even said that all right. It's a very interesting name, Raise. Or it could be Rise as LP. Raise as Lip? I do not speak Leet, and therefore I'm at a disadvantage. Either way, I've given several interpretations, so I hope that at least one of those was close. Ah, it's Reza. Just say Reza. Alrighty, thank you, Reza. And we just had Gojuline91 join us. Welcome. So, before we get into questions, well, welcome to the editing. I am in the process of trying to put together a tribute to an actor we lost almost a full year ago, Jason David Frank, who I knew as the Green Power Ranger. That is not, there we go. That is Jason David Frank. There we go. And all the myriad roles he portrayed across Power Rangers, and then into his own movie, The Legend of the White Dragon. So I'm working on putting that together and, well, just wanting to devote some time to it because, boy, gosh, it's been a demanding week. Without going too much into personal life, because I like to keep that and my online life as separate as possible, my friend who has shoulder surgery needed to take her mom's dog into the vet. Said pupper, who is wonderful, has torn her ACL muscle and therefore can't use one hind leg. So we took a food pallet, a cardboard rectangle that you often get from produce, and we put her bed in it, and then we put the puppy in the bed, and I carried her out. She's a little overweight, but not offensively so. And so it was just a small test of strength to take her to my car, get her into the car. Of course, there's some whimpering and uncertainty from the pupper. But we got her taken care of, and options are forthcoming on how to treat the puppy's leg. I've also helped my parents get ready for a trip to Spain, a cruise, for which I wish them great joy and adventure. And then there's me trying to sort through my lifelong collection of CDs as I'm about to clear them out. I mean, let's face it, MP3s or MP4s now are the name of the game. I feel no terrible nostalgia to hold on to specific cases. And for the ardent collectors, they're better off in the market. So I've been sorting through that, and that is a Herculean task, because when I heard a song I liked, you better believe I went out and got the disc. Underpup, you understand how hard it can be for a dog to not work with a leg, but also how determined and they can be. And, well, remains freaking adorable. So let's see here. Oh, more folks over there. And let's see here. Cherry Fluff, I have seen your artwork. Thank you for the showing Equestria. That's a wonderful time. And hello, Ven Pie. So, but now it's time to turn my attention towards Jason David Frank and my narration, of which I've been working at this today, but I only got about a little under halfway. So you might be bored hearing the sound of my voice, especially me talking with my voice. But let's see how I sound to myself. Also, I need to turn on the sound to my computer so you can actually hear this puppy.
Things went smoothly for Tommy after his return. A new set of friends to round out. Things went smoothly.
I always do at least 2 takes per line.
Things went smoothly.
I don't want to give away too much. I mean, if you hear the whole video now.
A new set of friends to round out the Ranger team. The ability to morph without consequence. And he can now best 4 of Zed's monsters on his own.
Alrighty. Then I leave a little break because there's a little show clip to throw in there. Now let's see here. The question came up, do I watch Death Battle? And I'm assuming this is about, well, let's see here. Oh, also, hi, Adam Leisman. Sorry I missed you earlier. And Chris! It's good to see you, Chrissy. I know that Trinary will be joining us very shortly, but just not in time. Also, welcome to Changeling Rider and Renamon565 and Nexus Galaxy. Oh, so many people joined in, like Julia Goodwin. Doing my best to say hello to everybody. But let's see here. The question was, do I watch Death Battle? And the answer is, yeah, but not regularly. It's more special events. I know the most recent was Megatron versus Frieza. And without watching it, I predict Frieza won. I mean, look, Megatron's tough, but Frieza's blow up a planet with his finger tough. I always get thrown off. Actually, no one ever asked Frieza what their pronouns were.
But the character of Tommy is one that has to face the past. But the character for Tommy is one that...
I usually go with this.
To either surmount... Is one that...
Well, let's see here. In this case, I royally botched the second try.
But the character of Tommy is one that has to face the past.
But I don't like how I ended that line. Ugh. Kind of ran out of breath there.
But the character for Tommy...
Okay, so we're going to come in at 1. Singular sensation.
One that has to face the past.
There we go. Better. Much better. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, but those were Power Battle or something. Jason David Frank did champion his 2 Ranger forms in Super Power Battle. And yes, I need to get those clips for this, but one thing at a time.
Character for Tommy is one that has...
Ooh, okay. Okay, so we're good on the lineup, but you can hear the change in the clip. Just listen.
Tommy is one that has...
You hear that little click? We are going to heal that by going with a constant power transition. It'll only be 2 frames long. So it'll borrow 1 frame from one clip and 1 frame from another clip. And now when I play it...
Tommy is one that has to face the past.
That gets rid of the little boop in between them. It's very helpful and has saved me many a time.
To either surmount it... His next... To either surmount it... or use it to teach a lesson. His next big test came in Return of the Green Ranger, where he faced an evil counterpart.
Evil counterpart. Classic superhero problems. Ah, yes, Venpai. Bill Cipher versus Discord. That one's a little harder. I haven't watched Gravity Falls, so I don't know the full extent of a Bill Cipher's power. Actually, it's funny. With having not seen that death battle yet, My Little Pony has a record of 1 win, Starscream versus Rainbow Dash. Oh, wait, I shouldn't actually say who won. There's a win, a draw, and a loss. That's all I should say. My bad. Apologies if I spoiled something for you. But, well, Rainbow Dash is awesome, and Starscream's a coward. We both know who's going to win.
So we get the ultimate fanboy fight. Pick your team. Team white or team green.
And no, that is not a racial thing.
So we get the ultimate fanboy fight. Pick your team. Pick your team. Team white or team green?
Yep. Oh, I should include that. Just to show I'm alive.
But while this fight appeals to the fanboy within me,
to me, the first take is always like the experiment. You just get a feel for the line and then maybe have to do 2 more takes because you flubbed it up. Hunting Rangers. You've been stressed. Well, understandable. Yeah, I know there's a lot of bad news in the world right now, and I was just doing something fun can be or just something calming. Let my dulcet tones soothe you. I'm soothing. Arr. Let's see here. Xander, did I accidentally say pick your teeth? Let's see here.
Boy fight. Pick your team. Team white or team green?
I think I'm okay on that second take. Enderpup, you're gonna go see Five Nights at Freddy's in 2 weeks. I wish you luck. I never got into it, and I'm not as big on the horror scene. I don't know. It also depends on what my friends are going to do.
There's something I missed as a kid.
I missed a lot of stuff as a kid. Now I just miss a lot of stuff as an adult because there's too much stuff to catch.
Victory didn't come by defeating the Green Ranger or the Dragon Zord. It was when the White Ranger literally overcame his past self and destroyed the source of the corruption. So what we wound up with was the White Ranger redeeming the Green. And then they traveled back in time to save people from giant rats. And then they traveled back in time to save people from giant rats.
Yep, giant rats.
The 90s could get weird.
Let's give just a few frames delay.
And then they traveled back in time to save people from giant rats. The 90s could get weird.
And boy, couldn't they. Oh, yes, we're having... Oh, there's a good idea. There's something I'll add to the chat over on the YouTube. I don't know if I can do that or on Twitch. I should see if I can do that too. Poll. Favorite Tommy Oliver Zord. Dragon Zord. Tiger Zord. Falcon Zord. It only lets me put 4 options. So I'm going to put the Brachiozord as from Dino Thunder. Yes, it was Dino Thunder. Because, well, that was the most unique. I'm afraid the Zeozords and the Turbozords, they all usually just formed a bigger Zord. So I'll start with this poll. Now, can I do this over on Twitch as well? Turn on shield mode. Nope. Mod view. Change settings. Nope. Chat settings. Rather. No, it doesn't let me add a poll. Huh. Rude. I would like to see. Okay. Well, anyway, moving ever onward.
Don't bet on that. Don't bet on that.
There we go. I don't want to give away what he's reacting to, but when this all comes together, ye shall know. Oh, yes. You shall know.
Also, if you thought this was the only time Frank would play a hero fighting rats with a flute weapon...
Ooh, flubbed it on the flute.
Fighting rats with a flute weapon? Also, if you thought this was the only time Frank would play a hero fighting rats with a flute weapon, you'd be wrong. You'd be wrong. You'd be wrong. You'd be wrong.
Sometimes I do different emotions, and I just see which one grips me in the moment. So we have, you be wrong, happy?
You'd be wrong. You'd be wrong.
Sounds too serious for me. Why so serious?
After this point, the White Ranger wasn't so much of a focus as the rest of the team. They all went through the crisis of having their Zords destroyed. And losing their powers.
More coughing. Man, my throat was dry that day.
They then gained new powers and Zords. They then gained.
They then. That's really hard to say. They then.
They then gained new power.
No, that's even worse.
They then gained new powers and Zords after seeking out Dudley Do-Right. I mean, Ninjor. Now, Dudley Do-Right. I mean, after seeking out Dudley Do-Right Jr. I mean, Ninjor. They then gained new powers and Zords after seeking out Dudley Do-Right Jr.
Oh, that one's even better.
They then... Junior,
you heed your daddy. Never understood.
I mean, Ninjor.
Let's see here. What's been going on in the chat while I've been doing this? Let's see here. Folks are talking about... Oh, Master Gojidora. Well, yeah, I guess I should show this clip if I can find it in brief time. There was a full motion video game starring him as the Piper. Yep, here we go.
We all know your magic flute is powerless. There's no magic in it at all. Why, it's completely useless. Not completely.
Gonna have to fix that audio timing, but Yep, there he is, fighting flute. Mice and rats with flutes. Because, well, he was getting typecast for a little bit, I guess. Oh, no, Guy T, that is not Splinter. That is some evil rat. Oh, yeah, and he called himself... He goes by an angelic name or a demon name. I forget which.
Why, Piper, I'm impressed. I thought we'd seen the last of you.
Not yet, Mephisto.
Mephisto. There we go. So yeah, if you're ever curious to watch a really weird adventure starring Jason David Frank, just do a YouTube search for Piper FMV. I love that so many of you are like, what did I just see? What have I witnessed?
This was a clever idea on the production team's part. This was a clever idea on the production team's part. The source Sentai footage, Ninja Team Kaku Ranger, had... So instead they took... This was a clever idea on the production... The source Sentai footage, Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger...
Kaku Ranger, ninja.
Clever idea on the Ninja Team Kaku Ranger...
How do we sound here?
The source Sentai footage, Ninja Team Kaku Ranger...
Versus?
The source Sentai footage, Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger...
I'm going to go with Ninja Team.
The source Sentai footage, Ninja Team Kaku Ranger... had no sixth ranger.
Yeah, for some reason, Ninjor, as they called him in Japan, Ninja Man, who transformed into Samurai Man, was not considered a ranger in his own respects.
So instead they took the mechs from the second half of the series and claimed that the Falcon, who had no operator, was the White Ranger Zord. Falcon, who had no operator.
Yeah, the Falcon was one of 3 heavenly generals who fought against demons. And these, well, I don't know what you would call them. Well, they were heavenly generals, but they could talk. In fact, they often could operate without the Kaku Rangers, which may be confused. When the giants can fight independent of their so-called operators, what purpose is there to the team? Let's see, how's this here poll going? Well, Dragon Zord is clearly leading with 68% of the vote. Tiger Zord at 16%. Interestingly, Brachio Zord at 12% and Falcon Zord at 4%. Intriguing. Maybe because the Falcon Zord was more of a combiner than the other mechs he's piloted.
But things took a turn for the worse with the introduction of a new villain. But things took a turn with the introduction of a new villain, Cat. With her
Let's see.
The changing the Zord's multiparter saw the team at its weakest, and with her infiltrating the Rangers' trust, the villains were able to steal Kimberly's power coin, capture the Falcon Zord, and Ninjor.
My goodness, these Ranger history months. Pardon me as I wet my whistle. Let's see here. Almost Cosmetic Spray. A new villain, Cat, but with a K.
The changing the Zords, it gets worse. The change on the Zord's multiparter saw the team at its weakest since the introduction of the Green Ranger.
Yep, no Zords, no Power Rangers, well, no Pink Ranger.
Without the Falcon Zord, the other Zords couldn't activate. For some reason. Bit of a design flaw there. It gets worse as losing the power coin now takes a toll on Kimberly's body as the two are linked.
Here we go.
And while all of this can be explained as wanting to use the earlier Kaku Ranger footage, in story mode I can reach but one conclusion. Ninjor is a terrible designer.
He is. He's just the worst. I mean, really.
Tommy didn't take this well. I
mean, bad enough that you give the Black Ranger the frog. Just seems rude. But then you say, oh yeah, and if you lose your power coins, you're all going to start dying.
This is why I argue that Tommy is some of the best.
Terrible designs. Let's see here. Gojaland, I've not yet seen Cosmic Fury, though I have seen a few clips, including Billy's return. Seth Moss, so I was wondering, how are you wrong? And then I show this thing. Okay. And Blue Griffin, I'm a frog. Yes, that wonderful scene in the movie. But he gets a kiss from Dulcia. With her green bikini, which my I saw that movie with my parents. My dad was like, whoa, wait, what? And my mom said, well, so they clearly included her for the parents in the audience.
This is why I argue that Tommy got some of the best development in the series. Not only is he able to reconcile his past, but he can also use it to empathize with others. Well, there. It gets worse as losing a power coin now takes a toll on... Tommy didn't take...
Here we go. Leaving a little space for the clips because I know there's a good...
And he did.
Clips are coming. They're coming. I'd love to get this audio laid out before the top of the hour, and then I can get into the juicy stuff.
When Zed manages to abduct Kimberly and threatens to drain her life force, it's the White Ranger who goes to the rescue and ends up confronting Zed himself.
I bumped the mic a little there. Now, Riza, you say that Adam is one of the best Rangers after Jason and Tommy. I mean, he certainly, I think he earned a little bit extra with his return in Power Rangers in Space, the nostalgic morph. But truth be told, I love him more as a voice actor. He voiced Vash the Stampede, and I was like, whoa, wait, that's Adam.
Then the White Ranger proceeds to get all but curb stomped. The White Ranger then proceeds to get all but curb stomped. It's only when he breaks Zed's staff that the fight ends. This was special because no other Ranger fought with Zed until Dino Fury. 26 years later. 26 years later.
Trying to think. I don't think there were any other cases of Zed fighting the Rangers one-on-one. He was more the director. Blue Griffin, you're with me. Before Tommy, my favorite was Billy. And even after, I still admire and enjoy Billy's character. And learning what David Yost had to put up with, I empathize. And I'm very grateful he was willing to come back for Power Rangers.
Plus, Tommy got to get in the best hit on the Monster of the Week with his new Shogun Zord.
Although at times they were called the Ancient Zords. Go fig.
But while this satisfied the action aspect, I find I much preferred the emotional support Tommy offered Kimberly after the battle.
Let's see here. Ba-boom.
The Rangers would claw their way back to full strength in phases. First off, Kat finally broke the spell holding her. But not before Kimberly wound up in the hospital.
Yes, the third season of Power Rangers really had a lasting tension.
It's here that Tommy's past. The acting may be a little strength for the team as Kat came clean.
And more clips. More. All the clips. Clippity.
The acting was a little stiff, but I like how the characters are turning what was a destructive period into a bridge.
A bridge too far. Let's see here. Julia Goodwin, Billy returned in Once and Always anniversary special, which I believe is on Netflix, and then on Cosmic Fury, also on Netflix.
With Kat's help, the Rangers reclaim the pink power coin and Kimberly turns the power over to her new friend. Tommy's history was once again challenged when he snuck back into Zed's palace alongside Kat to claim the Zeo Crystal.
Ah, yes, the Zeo Crystal. I had no idea when they were doing it. No idea that they were setting up for Power Rangers Zeo.
Tommy's history was once again challenged when he snuck back into Zed's palace alongside Kat to claim the Zeo Crystal.
Okay, I think that was a bit better. Bit better.
Only problem was that it was protected by S.H.I.E.L.D. that destroyed anyone evil.
Including a certain former Green Ranger.
But it also recalls the good done as Tommy had to deal with more than a few illusions before facing the crystal's test. I like that this wasn't a red herring. The shield.
It's amazing what I can trip over when I'm doing my narration. Dino Fury, Seth Moss. Did Billy appear in Dino Fury? Gaiety, you're checking out Jan Castlevania. How's the new series? I'm told that it has next to nothing to do with the actual game. Which, there's a question. How far can an adaptation stray before it's just not an adaptation?
I like that this wasn't a red herring. The shield did punish him for a minute as he remembered his past. But it also recalled the good done as both the Green and White Rangers. And on the way out, he manages to get another one-up on Zed and Rita.
So they steal the Falcon Zord. Australian Cat says cheers.
Combine that with Ninja's escape, and the crew was finally back at full power. Just in time to get turned into children, quest for the scattered Zeo Crystal. Grow back up.
And then Ninjor was never heard from again.
And have the command center get blown up.
I mean, isn't that always the way? You get back to a good spot, and then suddenly life throws you 50 bajillion curveballs. Get blowed up.
At this point, it shouldn't be a surprise that the Rangers bounced back yet again, with a better command center and upgrading their costumes. Now the Red Ranger, Tommy's struggles didn't center so much on his past. Rather, he had to discipline himself to control the Red Battle Zord.
Let's see here. I don't remember if I saved a clip for that. I'll have to pull up the script.
Of course, there was that episode where he was brainwashed, and thought he led the Machine Empire. I think they did this to give his maniacal laughter one last hurrah. And another episode gave his singing chops a run. But Zeo, the only part of Tommy's history we another episode gave his singing chops a run.
I hated that episode. I even shouted out, "Oh no," which my mom was worried when she heard that, and well, overly dramatic kid.
The only part of Tommy's history we explored was that the only real aspect of Tommy's past we explore here is the discovery of a long lost brother. Here is the discovery of a long lost brother. This gave Frank's real life brother Eric some time in the spotlight.
There we go. Eric Frank.
But he was quickly phased out.
Yeah, they did not give him much of a role in the show. It's actually kind of startling how many characters came and went without ceremony in at least the early runs of Power Rangers.
As for the transition to Turbo, we don't talk about Turbo.
That's right. Trinary, good that you're here with us, and thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. You're right, Seth. In Dino Fury, Zed did fight the Rangers, but that was 26 years after Tommy had his shot. 26 years. Amazing to think how the franchise has continued.
After leaving the show, Frank would take on other roles. After leaving the show, Frank would take on various other roles in other shows. Sometimes even an uncredited role. He also began a career in mixed martial arts and worked his way up to an 8th degree black belt.
8th degree black belt. I mean, that's like, you've already achieved the highest rank, and now you're just gaining prestige and skill and knowledge. And that's when you're like, yeah, he knows his stuff.
When asked about his plans for his he also began a career in mixed martial arts and worked his way up to an 8th degree black belt.
Okay, what did I remember this?
He also began a career in mixed martial arts and worked his way up to an 8th degree black belt.
I like the second take a little more. There we go.
When asked about his plans for his MMA career, he said he would just go out. He said he would just go out there and do my best and prove that I'm a real fighter.
Yep. That's the wonderful thing about voice editing in digital. You can scrub as many times as you like. I'm sure it was much more frustrating back in the early days where you didn't have the ease of this kind of editing.
Some worried he was under extra pressure given his career on Power Rangers. Frank replied, some worried he was under extra pressure.
Oh yeah, Frank replied, yada yada. And the thing is, you work at this long enough, you start to recognize this waveform looks a little bit like this waveform. So that's probably the second take right here.
The guy on the other side of the cage has pressure because if I kick his butt.
Alrighty. Let's see here. It's Megaforce we don't talk about? Look, Seth Moss, we don't talk about Turbo. We joke about the acting in Megaforce. Robotite, you have a mission. Darr! There, that should be his battle cry. Darr! Oh, hey, Summit Lion. Good to see you. Let's see, I'm going to end the poll because it looks like the Dragon Sword is a clear winner with 68% of the votes. Ooh. Samet got an art piece he made of the Green Ranger signed by Jason David Frank. Very impressive. Brian Loon is like, Turo wasn't that bloody bad. Oh, no, it was worse.
He got his butt kicked by a Power Ranger.
Oh, but the acting in... Well, okay, I gotta be fair. The guy who played the Red Ranger in Megaforce and then Super Megaforce, I knew right away he didn't really emote well. He seemed kind of stiff. The guy was a model. He wasn't trained as an actor. And it shows. But at the same time, that's like maybe you're asking too much and you didn't give him enough coaching. So I'm more laughing at the outcome, not at the person.
So you tell me, who's got more pressure, me or him?
I don't know. If you got your beat up by a Power Ranger, is that a compliment or a diss? I don't know.
Would you want to get knocked out by a Power Ranger? Personally speaking, I would not like that at all. Thank you. Personally speaking, I would not like that at all. Thank you. By a Power Ranger?
And I'm going to take the second, personally speaking.
Personally speaking, I would not like that at all. Thank you.
Trevor Hensley, the power cannot protect me. No power in the universe can protect me from the karma I've gotten. Swordbreaker, I have seen a little bit of Jetman, but mostly clips and summaries by reviewers, including my friend the Kaiju no Kami. It was almost the first Power Rangers series we got, but I think going with the dinosaur-themed Jew Ranger was the better way to go.
Frank would also continue to instruct self-defense and eventually modify it into his own fighting style. Toso Kundo, or Way of the Fighting Fist. While some actors might try to leave, while other actors might try to leave their Power Ranger.
That seems further out.
And would return for the full. But while other actors might try to leave their Power Ranger careers in the past, Frank seemed proud of it and often returned. He led the gathering of all the Red Rangers for Wild Force. He led the gathering of all the Red Rangers for the Wild Forest episode Forever Red. He led the gathering for all.
Yep, I really struggled with this part. I don't know why, but Wild Force episode just did not want to roll off the tongue.
He led the gathering of all the Red Rangers for the Wild Forest episode. Wild Forest?
Yes, Wild Forest.
He led the gathering of all the Red Rangers for the Wild Force episode Forever Red.
There we go. I finally got it. It took forever. It was a test of endurance and strength, but by God, I overcame it. See, I'm a better actor than the Megaforce Red.
And would return for the... in which we get to roundhouse kick and would return for the full series of Power Rangers Dino Thunder. In which he would get to roundhouse kick a T-Rex and become the new Black Ranger. But of course, there had to be an episode where he confronted his past selves. He even championed past roles in the series Superpower Beatdown.
There we go. Superpower Beatdown.
But of course, there had to be an episode where he confronted his past selves. Where the Green and White Rangers beat Ryu and Scorpion, respectively.
And let's take that pause out of respectively. It's not really a surprise.
And Scorpion, respectively.
And maybe just 1 or 2 frames.
And Scorpion, respectively.
There we go. That's nice. Let's see here. Sentai that died mid-show. Well, let's see. Black Condor died at the end of Jetman in a very surprising twist. I mean, you survive the difficulty of an interstellar invasion, but then it's a punk on the street who gets you. And yet he comes back for this awesome cameo in Gokaiger, where he's actually serenading the spirit of death with this wicked saxophone. That's charisma. Deadpool wishes he could serenade death like that.
And he would return to all his previous forms by wielding the Master Morpher in Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
It's technically Super Ninja Steel. I may have to do a pickup on that.
And, surprise, he battled an evil version of himself.
Almost there, but this is the tail end of things. I'm pleased that how this is coming along. I know it might not be the funnest thing to hear.
But perhaps the biggest contribution was, I find elsewhere, an alternate. But perhaps the biggest contribution was the promoting of the Shattered Grid series of comics and video games as Lord Draken. I find Elseworld stories like this fascinating. Dimension version of Tommy, an alternate dimension version of Tommy who turned down the offer to join the Power Rangers
because he was stupid.
And eventually became a tyrant himself. I find Elseworld stories like this fascinating because they explore the road not traveled. The way things could have turned out. Tommy may not have been proud of his earlier acts as the Green Ranger. But here's a demonstration that he could have been far, far worse.
You know, it's a funny thing. The psychologists say that the biggest regret of people is not the mistakes they made, but the choices they didn't make. The road's not taken. We seldom, however, think about what we could have been had we taken the wrong road. That we're way better than what we could have been. Because, again, we tend to assume the road not taken would have been that much sweeter. You never know. So I'm just saying, don't rule out the life you live in now in favor of an imagined what if. We never know where things might lead us. Let's see here. Paddle for Evangelion 007. What is the fear of putting Cammy and Ken in Battle for the Grid as cameo Street Fighter Power Rangers? I mean, granted, Ken for a long time was just American Ryu, but that's changed, I think.
And Frank's appearance in other media would call back to his Power Ranger days.
There's a We Bare Bears clip going in here.
Even in something as seemingly different as We Bare Bears.
Amazed that they got he was in We Bare Bears. I mean, that's not even the same generation.
Frank seemed to fully embrace his history with the power that they had. Austin St. John's. I can't speak to Frank's.
Now this one's a little harder to parse.
It would be dishonest to say that Frank's career and.
Okay, so
Frank seemed to fully embrace his history with the Power Rangers. And I think fans responded to that.
all right, here's where.
But it would be dishonest to say that Frank's career and relationship. But it would be dishonest to say that Frank's career and the relationship and his. But it would be dishonest to say that Frank's career and the relationship and his relationships with others were squeaky clean.
Let's see here. Let's listen to this.
Frank's career and his relationship.
Nope. Not liking that. Not liking that at all. Let's see what happens if I.
Frank's career and his relationships with others were squeaky clean. To say that Frank's career and his relationships with others were squeaky clean.
Still sounds a little. You can hear the volume boost in "and" because I'm starting a new sentence.
His career and the.
Let's try to come in on the relation. Try to be extra sneaky.
Relationship.
Well, failed on that.
The relation. And the relationships with others were squeaky clean. To say that Frank's career and the relationships with others were.
And we try the constant power trick again. Let's see how this sounds.
To say that Frank's career and the relationships with.
Nope. Not quite there. Not quite there yet.
career and the relationships with others.
Better.
And the relationships with others were squeaky clean.
Think that'll work? There we go.
Austin St. John stated that Frank had quite the ego.
Now that was in a live stream that I need to listen to and get the actual soundbite from. But that'll have to wait until tomorrow.
Austin St. John stated, and Frank nearly came to, though Frank would later say that Frank nearly came to blows with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Which I will admit, seeing them in a fight would have been interesting.
Though Frank would later say he held no personal ill will.
From what I understand, Van Damme was somewhat disparaging of Power Rangers, which was kind of a blow because Jason David Frank really looked up to him.
I can't speak to Frank's, but a theme that comes through more recently, I can't speak to Frank's true character. As I never met him and only know him from all these. As I never met him and only know all. As I never met him and only know all of this from online articles.
There we go. Man, that.
As I never met him and only know.
Okay. You can kind of see this is where, if you get really in here, I guess that's the, really in this spot, him. So I need right about there.
Him and only know all.
Constant power.
Never met him and only know all of this.
Still a little wonky.
Met him and only know all of this from. Never met him and only know all of this from online articles.
There we go. Not bad, eh? Disney and TF2 and Disney Lover 1258. Have I ever played any CD-ROM games in the past? Yes, I played Dark Forces, X-Wing, the various X-Wing simulator games, and a little bit of Duke Nukem. But I don't know, being raised in a household that was a bit... It's funny, we're liberal in politics and conservative in lifestyle. I quickly got turned off to Duke Nukem style.
But a theme that came through, according to his close friend, but a theme that has come through more recently is that Frank felt he struggled with duality.
But yeah, I loved the X-Wing series of games and the TIE Fighter.
Mike Bronzolis. According to his close friend, Mike Bronzolis.
My dad would say, well, you're fighting for the evil empire, aren't you? I said, yeah, but I know the empire's going to lose in the end, so it's okay.
Frank struggled with depression and the loss of many friends and family due to suicide. Frank did his best not to carry this grief. His brother died in 2001 but a consequence of his brother.
Okay, there we go.
His brother died in 2001 from an illness. His mother passed away in 2015. Frank did his best not to carry this grief into his appearances before fans. But a consequence of this duality is that he started to feel like he was becoming someone else. He spoke about this in a poem video. He spoke about this in a poem video.
I think the one I've got is okay. So this is where I will devote a little time to his quote. Yes, Gaia T, it is saving time. More phenomenal. Thank you. Let's see here. Enderpup, my favorite Ranger villain. Well, that would be Lord Zed. I mean, he's intimidating, he's powerful, he was a game changer early on. I've not yet seen him in the more recent series, as they got a new voice actor and whatnot. But, yeah, I'll always remember Lord Zed and the dreading music that would play.
We all put on a persona to interact with the world and hold certain aspects in reserve.
Okay, that's a good line, but it also missed a part.
Despite having tons of friends, we all put on a persona. It will be time to prepare.
Here we go. Here's what I missed.
I think Frank connected to an idea similar to that of T.S. Eliot from the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock.
Now let's see here. Cherry Fluff is wondering if I know anything about the Five Nights at Freddy's. I only know that there are wild fan speculations about the themes and possible backstory of the various games. I do not know the actual storyline or what it will be.
I think Frank connected to an idea similar to that of T.S. Eliot from the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock.
Yeah, that one came out better. I don't know why there's a little audio glitch in what I heard.
There will be...
Here we go. One sec.
There will be time. There will be time to prepare a face to meet the faces that you meet. There will be time to prepare a face to meet the...
Okay, here we go. Seth Moss, Zed changing post-marriage. You know, Linkara made a point that Zed actually accomplished more and was more dangerous with Rita, but he did seem less threatening, less commanding, and more goofy under while married to Rita. I actually saw it as a downgrade of his character, but apparently they arranged the wedding specifically because they wanted to make Zed less scary.
We all put on a persona to interact with the world and hold certain aspects in reserve. Part of this is a basic social function. To interact with the world and hold certain aspects in reserve.
So I was less a fan of the wedding.
But unaddressed issues can create a feeling of loneliness. But unaddressed, even when surrounded by people.
Let's see. I see folks are chiming in on their favorite villains. I don't think I could make a poll long enough to gauge that. But, yeah, Power Rangers has had a wide array of villains. I think Lost Galaxy had the most sympathetic villains, if I understand the storyline properly.
To quote Bronzolus,
wow. Messed that up. There we go.
To quote Bronzolus, despite having tons of friends, I'm not going to go. Despite having tons of friends and getting love from thousands of fans, he often felt very lonely. Frank was also going through a divorce with his second wife. I'm not going to go into detail on this breakup, as I think it would be a disservice to all involved. On November 20th, 2022, Jason David Frank took his own life. There's much we don't know about his struggle, and we're not. But there's something I didn't cut the title to know.
Okay, here we go. This is at the very tail of the video.
But there's something I didn't cover about the character arc of Tommy Oliver. Frank depicted a character who started on a dark note, but rose to greater heights and continually faced and overcame his past. Who never let past tragedy define his future. Frank depicted a who never let past, but I think it's important to note that he never did But I think it's important to note that he never did so alone.
There we go. A little bit of a tongue twister once again.
At every step, the other Rangers supported him, even when he lost his powers. And even in the legend of the White Dragon, and even in the Legend of the White Dragon movie, Frank's final film, the pitch emphasizes that he must work with others to overcome adversity. We'll see how that story unfolds in 2024.
That will be a very weird feeling to be watching this movie, to know, well, it is Frank's last creative work.
So if there's any message to take away from this video and a study of Frank's portrayals, it's that asking for help is not weakness. We all need support in our lives, and if you ever feel like it's becoming too much,
let's see here.
We all need support in our lives. We all need support in our lives, and if you ever feel like it's becoming too much, I want you to remember the phone number 988.
There we go.
It's the National Suicide Crisis Lifeline. There is absolutely no shame or weakness in calling this number and asking for help. Because the character of Tommy Oliver, to whom Jason David Frank gave life, represents just that. A strength born from the support of others that can a strength born from the support of others. David Frank gave life represents just that. A strength born from the support of others that can withstand trial after trial and emerge on the other side. I hope you all know that one of the bravest things we can. I hope you all realize that you're stronger than you think, and that you can rise above whatever may be facing you. Just know that one of the bravest things we can do is ask for help.
And that's it. That is the entire audio. Whew. And let's see here. According to this, it's 41 minutes and about 35 seconds. We're going to trim that down as we tighten things up around the editing. Huh. Ah, that's the title card. So, that's a lot of dialogue and, well, tackling a very heavy subject for which I feel woefully undereducated, I guess is the best way. Well, let's see here. Well, don't worry, Gaiety. I'm going to trim this down. Oh, boy. Oh, but forgive me for a moment. I just need to stretch my shoulders. I've been hunched, laying this out. Oh, fun times. Okay. Remembering the loss of Frank is not fun. Don't mean to sound disrespectful there. I enjoy editing, but when you're editing a heavy topic, it can feel emotional. Oh, but now we can get into something a little bit different.
3 giant robot toys were in stock. We snatched them up straight away. But there was a little something extra included with the Dragon Sword. A Power Ranger figure. Green, no less. And with a golden shield. I was hyped before the first TV promo even came out.
All right, the first TV promo. Here we go. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Space Shooters. Oh, man. No, I had Power Rangers commercials. Did I put that in here, or have I not properly downloaded that? Oh, that's so annoying. Piper, movie, McDonald's. Yep, one sec. I've got to do just a little bit of promo searching again. Could have sworn I did this right. History. Oh, wait. There we go. Come on, come on. Working on it. Air Troopers. Power Rangers, Power Rangers. Here we go. Power Rangers promo compilation. Oh, hey, how about that? Come on. Come on, you can do it. Retrieve that information. Oh, goodness. Well, let's see here. While we're waiting for this thing to do its job. Swordbreaker, you still have some OG Power Rangers? That's cool. I gave all mine away. I stopped watching after Zeo. But I admit, when I see them re-releasing all this stuff, I actually did go out and get the Green Ranger Dagger and Saba replicas. Cherry Fluff, any memorable high school story I enjoy knowing? Are we talking fictional or real life? Well, in the meantime, Enderpup, I understand you're going to turn in, so have a good night and just rest well. There we are. Fox Kids promos, but I need this converted to a usable format. Yeah, well, we gotta give that 25 seconds. Changeling Rider has the original Dragon Dagger, while Gojali 91 has the Condor Galactabeast somewhere. It's funny, the things that we hold on to. I've got a bunch of G1 Transformer toys. Absolutely none of them are in a complete state. I mean, they're missing their guns or maybe broken in some parts, but by gosh, I just love hanging on to all of them and remembering the fondness. Oh, there's the conversion. But what can I say? I am sometimes I look on eBay where they have 3D printed fans of Rodimus Prime. I think I would actually like to order one of those and just slap it on my old Rodimus figure so that it looks correct.
Lock your doors and run to safety. Monsters are large, and they're cruising in. Our only hope, the mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
All the way! Yeah!
Coming September to Fox.
Amazing.
A powerful new team is coming to Fox.
Morphin time.
Yada, yada, yada. Oh. Wow, that guy sounds even more excited when I fast forward.
You thought they were extinct. Don't miss the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series premiere Monday on Fox. Power Rangers, return to the command center immediately for new instructions.
Yada, yada. Yes, we thought they were extinct. Man, they're in a lot of versions of this. Yes, I thought they were extinct. Oh, actually, that was the first. I think this one here. This was the very first promo I ever saw for the Power Rangers. Just for a moment, indulge my nostalgia.
The prehistoric power of the dinosaurs has been unleashed. Don't miss the all-new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers weekdays on Fox.
I was so confused by that clip, but intrigued. Swordbreaker, I haven't seen Bioman as a prototype for the Power Rangers. I have seen Cybertron. If I recall. Yes. Oh, there we go.
This Tuesday on Fox, an awesome new force is coming to take on the Power Rangers in a special 5-part miniseries.
My evil Green Ranger!
He's unlike anything you've ever seen, with amazing strength, morphin powers, and an incredible Dragon Zord. With amazing strength, morphin powers, and an incredible Dragon Zord.
Oh, that took a long time just to find that one clip, but que sera? That's how this goes. Que sera?
This was the start of Jason David Frank's role as Tommy Oliver, a character and actor contracted for 14 episodes, who would become the face of the franchise and hailed as
come here, Forever Red. Foul play, yada yada, mutiny. Oh yeah, we got to get. Lord help me, I didn't grab Forever Red. Oh, this is the thing when you're trying to acquire all these clips from various Power Rangers. Let's see here, Wild Force. No Wild Force? Did I fail to? Well, tuck that under to do. Power Rangers, Wild West Rangers, Voice in the Wilderness, Wild Rebels. Huh. Well, that's one more thing to do.
episode that affirmed why he deserves such admiration. I don't think I could do so. Hello, series villain Rita Repulsa was downright swooning for him.
Okay, let's just get to this.
And a new challenger.
Oh, did you see that guy? He'll be a great Green Ranger. Oh, did you see that guy?
Yeah, wow, she sounds a little too into him. Know what I'm saying?
So in true villain fashion, she magically abducts Tommy and brainwashes him into being her servant. And over the course of 5 episodes, he pushes the team to their limit.
Let's see here. Pushes the team to their limit.
He's able to outfight all 5. He's able to outfight all 5 at once, wrecks the command center, isolates Jason from the group, casts their Zords into lava, and then goes on a rampage with his own Dragon Zord. He's whooping them so hard that the Rangers consider giving up.
This was the 4th episode. I'm going mostly by memory on this one.
Why shouldn't we? Zordon's gone, the Megazord's been destroyed. We're outmatched.
Billy, what are the chances of beating Zordon back online?
Less than 10%. Isn't the smallest chance of victory enough of a reason for us to keep on fighting? The world needs us, Rangers.
Let's face it. The Green Ranger was Rita's trump card. She played it. She won.
No.
Let's face it. The Green Ranger was Rita's trump card. She played it. She won.
You know, I'll never say that the acting on Power Rangers was, top tier. But I do like the physicality here. Jason just doesn't want to even hear this defeatist talk. Now Seth Wallace wants to know my thoughts on Bandora, the witch who was the Jew Ranger villain, basically the original version of Rita. Some villains are at their most fun when they're celebrating being evil, and when she's just singing songs and dancing with her allies, I found her kind of delightful. But at the same time, she could be truly, truly wicked and despicable, and she loved it. She delighted in it. Sometimes I think those are the most entertaining villains. In later parts, they try to give her a sympathetic edge, but to me, she's at her most fun and entertaining when she's just loving being the villain.
And through it all, Frank's vocals gave the Green Ranger a real sense of menace. He had a charisma for being a bad guy, making one wonder if there was a better person under all that control.
Alrighty, so Green with Evil. Oh no, wait, same episode.
Man, it's Green Ranger! Come on! You pathetic Power Rangers are finally going down!
Finally going down.
Even in the final showdown, he pushes the Red Ranger to his limit. The Green Ranger is so badass, in fact, that he can block a sword with his fist.
Yeah, I'm getting a little ahead of myself with this one, but it's just too funny. This is the final battle. Oh, there it is. There it is.
The Green Ranger is so badass, in fact, that
Now, as I look closer at this, I could swear back in the day that he was blocking it with his fist. Let's add a hold frame here. And do a little zoom in. So let's see here. Effects, controls, come on. Show me the money, position, and scale. We're going to take this to 200%, maybe more. Yeah, let's make it 500%. And maybe 400. Yeah, I'm not so sure all of a sudden. I could swear back in the day that he blocked it with his fist. But now it looks like he's blocking with the base of his flute.
The Green Ranger is so badass, in fact, that he can block a sword with his fist.
Let's see here, Jeff. Favorite moments in high school? Well, let's see. To be honest, I don't have a ton of memories about high school. Mostly it was just pretty steady going. I remember the friends I made and conversation with them, but it was very rarely, if ever, wild.
Even in the final showdown, he pushes the Red Ranger to his limit. Yet in the end, he was freed from the spell and decided to join the Rangers.
You know, I'm a little sad that I had to get rid of that joke. But after all these years, I finally had the vision to see that he did, as Brian Luna points out, block it with the hilt of the Dragon Dagger. And yes, Gaiety, Cosma, Inspira, and Brian Luna are all correct. It is very badass. Have you ever blocked a sword with a dagger flute combo? Don't try. That sounds crazy.
After everything, fight by our side and we can defeat Rita. After everything that's happened, Tommy, we need you. It's where you belong.
Okay, I know for a fact that this will be too long for YouTube. So let's cut out a little bit of the There we go. Just cut out that little pause. Little constant power and bada bing bada boom.
It's where you belong.
This leads us to our first pin in Frank's portrayal of Tommy. Ah!
That's that a pin is supposed to come flying in and nearly nail Silver in the head. Okay, Jerry Fluff, I took part in the video announcements of school. Think of like those really embarrassing Spider-Man No Way Home, Far From Home trailer, video, student-made videos. There's the words I'm looking for. Nothing on that score, but we had this one friend who was a fun guy, a bit of an oddball, but people liked him for that. So we had him reacting via green screen to Independence Day and the scene where they blow up well, everything. So that was a fun memory. People had a good laugh with that. That's probably a favored memory.
The original 5 Rangers were given the choice to become...
So I'll just leave that for the animation. And of course, I forgot to convert Day of the Dumpster, only the start of Power Rangers.
Side note, this is instead, he stayed on and became a semi-member of the team. I say semi because an odd trend started. Tommy hardly ever morphed alongside the team for a fight. The usual format was that the Rangers would engage in the fight, struggle to reach the giant phase, and then the Green Mech battle. Though I'm surprised Saban Entertainment never found a use for this footage.
Okay, brace yourselves. I'm going to show you a clip from Zyuranger, the original series, and I still don't know why they never brought it over. Let's see here. Reborn, the Ultimate God. They didn't even use this in the Return of the Green Ranger. Or Return of... Now let's see here. In Japan, Goldar was Griffunzer. And Griffunzer was pretty badass. He rarely got curb stomped. That's one of the few times I've seen someone actually overwhelm him in a show of strength. Hey, Grimwolf. Oh, Seth Moss. I'd give Chrysalis versus Rita Repulsa. I think, given that Rita was not big on romance or love, but had an array of spells, I think she would have the advantage over Queen Chrysalis. Although if it's the Changeling Swarm is a part of that, well then overwhelmed by numbers is unfortunately a weakness for Rita. We'll see. I wonder if I should cut out that false swing just for time and... Just for time. YouTube's always a bit fickle in what they will and will not allow. I can only imagine if Toei Entertainment is going to give me a hard time. Yep, that's a good one.
So while there was an expectation that the Green Ranger would kick all kinds of monster posterior, truth was he was more of a summoning device for another giant mech. But two aspects kept us interested in Tommy's career. Unlike his picture-perfect peers, the Green Ranger had a stain in his history. All his actions were an effort to redeem past wrongs. This isolation from the rest of the team also required that Tommy have different subplots going. Be it captured by putties or auditioning for a karate promo. Be it captured by putties or auditioning for a martial arts.
Whoops. Well, every time I accidentally duplicate my audio, that's just one less thing I have to worry about.
Be it captured by putties or auditioning for a martial arts promo, Tommy had a distinct identity apart from the group. This added to his appeal as an imperfect character trying to forge a new life. It also didn't hurt that he was constantly flirting with Kimberly.
Let's see here. Constantly flirting with Kimberly. Power Rangers. Life's a Masquerade. It's Be Spider. Spitflower. Wheel of Misfortune. Calamity Kimberly. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Most lethal monsters.
Hey, is this about us?
Hey, increase the volume, please.
No one knows. Wow. But we can be sure
Looks
that
like
the
your
Power
day's getting
Rangers, whoever they
Yeah, I gotta say, what was it? I was in the 6th grade when this show came out. Kimberly was a first crush, I think.
the Power Rangers, whoever they
Any young person who recognized Amy Jo Johnston's beauty would wish to be in Tommy Oliver's shoes. Canon declared otherwise, but these two remain my OTP. Too bad their first and only kiss took place at the end of the Green Candle two-parter. In Japan, that candle represented Barai's lifespan. For Tommy, it was a countdown to steal his powers. Jason David Frank's contract came to a close. 14 episodes. Doesn't sound like much, especially given the limited role in his various...
Oh, wait, there's...
peers. The Green Ranger had a stain in his history.
Oh, okay, I think I missed a soundbite. Let's see here.
Trend started. Tommy hardly ever morphed alongside the team for a fight. The usual format was that the Rangers would engage in the fight, struggle to reach the giant phase, and then the Green Ranger would appear to summon the Dragonzord and lend support. This was because the original Japanese Sentai series, Dinosaur Squadron Zyuranger, had put a limitation on the footage. In the Land of the Rising Sun, the Dragon Ranger was an ancient warrior who had been crushed to death while in suspended animation, and was only able to extend his resurrection within a special chamber. Every moment he was outside fighting was another minute towards his end.
Now, let's see here. It means I gotta go back to ye old Zyuranger. Do a search ZYURANGER theme, And tell me if the Jew Ranger theme just doesn't get you pumping, energetic, upbeat. So I think we actually have to go back to Return of the Ultimate God. Jeez, I didn't realize that the subtitles would be there. That seems kind of weird.
I see this as a limitation placed on the Dragon Ranger so that he couldn't dominate fights moving forward. After all, this was a guy who took down the entire team before receiving a weapon. So better to keep him in timeout until the mech battle. Though I'm surprised Saban Entertainment never found a use for this footage.
Okay. I'm not sure I agree with Linkara saying that the theme song's a bit mellow. It's just happy. I mean, I think we as Americans are used to more angry music. Says something about us.
Especially given the limited role in his various fights. Jason David Frank's contract came to a close. 14 episodes. Doesn't sound like much. Especially given the limited role in his various fights. Frank's career began to shift. The plan was for him to start a new show trying to copy the Power Rangers' success. The Japanese hero Chujinki Metalder would become Cybertron, with Frank playing Adam Steele, who melds human spirit with a robot's power to birth a new hero.
Okay, I've got the Cybertron pitch clip.
Big mistake, Tinhead!
Just looking for like a really good quick bite. Nope. Honestly, I think that first one worked pretty well. I mean, it's always good to hear Jason Frank's ayahs, but not yet. Hey, Noah Harris, good to see you. And I'm with Trinary. It really is hard to... And Blue Griffin. I hear Cybertron, I think of Transformers. But some things get used a lot. After all, when people say The Matrix, I think of The Matrix of Leadership. Other people think of the movie series.
Meanwhile, actor Brad Hawkins was on track to become the new White Ranger, but the outpouring for Frank caused a switcheroo. I was among the angry fans who wrote in, demanding the Green Ranger's return. Back then, I didn't know the plotline of Jew Ranger and the limitations it placed. Though I'm glad to say I wasn't one of those poor kids so depressed they refused to eat, sleep, or go to school. The Fox Network faced a crisis. This toll on kids' mental health could result in lawsuits. So the showrunners told Frank they needed him back. Frank would return as the Green Ranger.
There we go. I guess I didn't need that long pause right there. Yipper. Just sing to myself while I do editing.
Frank would return as the Green Ranger and eventually become the White Ranger, while Hawkins became Ryan Steele of VR Troopers. I don't know if this choice was the reason Chaim Saban reached out to Toy Productions to commission more Power Rangers footage, but it did provide an opportunity. Frank reclaimed his power coin in the two-parter Return of an Old Friend, and this stands as one of my favorite episodes because of what it signifies, thus making it the second pin in Frank's career.
Oh, and then another pin comes by, endangers Silver.
Green Ranger had driven the team to defeat, made them question if they could even go on. But when the villains take their power coins by holding their families captive, only the Green Ranger can tip the balance back. Their destroyer is now their savior.
Whoop.
It also helps that we got to see some new fights and monster.
Okay. Return of an Old Friend. Let's see here. Power Rangers. The Green Candle. Ah, here we are.
You have no chance of defeating me!
We'll see about that!
Empty threats from a powerless ranger!
I'm more than enough to beat you, brother!
I shall enjoy pushing you in!
So let's see here. Oh yeah, this was always a cool part. Ah, too long. Too long. I enjoy.
I got it! Dragon Deck!
Uh-oh! What are we gonna do now?
I just remembered I left the oven on.
I call on the power of the Dragon Zord!
I always loved that scene. There we go. Just checking. What do I see in here? Commander Steel trying to give a boo. Boo-hoo. Let's see. Noah wonders, what would happen if the Power Rangers had a crossover with the Powerpuff Girls and the Ninja Turtles? Probably a lot of confusion. But you could definitely have some interesting team split-ups. 3 sections, one with each Powerpuff.
Their destroyer is now their savior.
I call on the power of the Dragon Zord!
Yeah, that's a fun clip. Actually, wait, there's an even better one.
What just happened? What's going on? Tommy! Alright!
Alright, Tommy!
I'm so glad to see you.
It's good to be back.
There we go. That's even better.
It also helps them get to see some new fights and monsters. The fan-named Ju2 footage enabled the Green Ranger to make a return and actually take part in battles. I especially enjoyed seeing him go head to snout with his Schwarzenegger parody. There's a caveat to
All right, let's see here. Then, where was it? The Lizinator. Enter the Lizinator. Let's just enjoy a quick fight scene.
Let's see.
No.
Or maybe you prefer dodgeball.
You alright, man? Yeah, thanks, but I can take this guy. No, Jace, let me help you.
It's kind of funny to see the physicality. I mean, Red is clearly angry and throwing him off, not wanting help.
Take him together. Get me up. It's too strong. Your bones won't hold up long enough. We got to. Jason. I'll let you finish this way. Don't worry. Sit tight.
When you're up, here I come. When you're up, here I come.
Too long, again. But let's just take away... Get rid of this part. I mean, I don't know if I can express just how satisfying it was to see the Green Ranger actually getting to fight again. Let's see. This is 8 seconds and 2 frames. There we go. I'll cut it out right there. When you get your own theme song, then you know you're in the big leagues.
There was a caveat to this return. The Green Ranger's powers were temporary, and thus he was still safer when the team was at a crisis point. Like Barai before him, Tommy now faced a consequence to every transformation. He was paying the price for this power, and yet he did so without hesitation. This straight up only heightened his standing in the fandom.
Okay.
But with the advent of the new lead in Lord Zed and a focus on draining away the Green Ranger's powers, Tommy became a heavier focus. He even got brainwashed again, likely to give his evil half another.
Okay, let's see here. And let's see here. Power Stealer, the Green Dream. There we go.
But with the advent of the new lead in Lord Zed and a focus on draining away the Green Ranger's powers, Tommy became a heavier focus. He even got brainwashed again, likely to give his evil half another hurrah. With Green no more, we got another send-off to the Green Ranger, but this one had a different feel to it as it gave the character of Tommy a chance to shine unmorphed.
And let's see here. Green no more.
Out of your mind! Out of your mind!
I mean, you're punching a guy in solid armor and getting him to stagger. That's no small thing. Oh, hey, Nathan Duazo. Welcome. Gojaland 91. I watched both VR Troopers and a little bit of Beetleborgs. I mean, Beetleborgs was definitely aimed at a younger audience. I couldn't get into it. VR Troopers, actually, I found was a bit more mature in some ways than Power Rangers, but just couldn't capture the same hype. Actually, having later learned that they're part of the Metal Heroes series, both franchises, I'd like to see more. I'd like to see the original Japanese, either with fan subs or, even better, an official U.S. release. Hint, hint.
This felt like a genuine tribute and celebration, but it also helped that in the following episodes, the characters kept mentioning Tommy.
Let's see here. Missing Green.
Another one at the...
I'm trying, Jason, I'm trying.
Control your anger. This is exactly the reaction Lord Zed wants. You must not allow him to gain the upper hand. Red Ranger, come stand before me. Jason, a true leader is always faced with tough decisions. He must control his emotions and act based on who has the greatest need.
Jason, you made the right decision when you left Tommy's candle.
The other Rangers needed you then, as they need you now.
Yeah, I think that was always a sore spot. That Jason, kind of like Rodimus, or Hot Rod getting Optimus killed, Jason had to leave the green coin, or green candle, which fans looking for a scapegoat would probably dump on Jason. He'd probably receive a lot more flack in this internet day and age than he did back in the day. Let's see here. Okay, Triner, you somehow found out about tattooed teenage Beverly fighters from... No, tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. I don't know, that flew under my radar somehow. I only learned about it when Team 4-Star made a reference to it during the Ginyu saga.
This was in stark contrast to not giving him one mention after the Green Candle episodes. Now it's time to shift the footage and mech battles to Guard Star Squadron Die Ranger, which just so happened to feature the Kiba Ranger, who was a 9-year-old.
Yep. Kiba Ranger is actually a 9-year-old. Let's see here. I'm a little afraid now to see what... Yep. Yep, so Justin was not the first kid to fight on a Sentai team. It makes it really weird that after the dark entrance of Barai and his vengeance spree and death, spoilers, they then brought in a kid who likes to use mystic key power to flip girls' skirts. Well, Ghostline 91... yeah, we never did get a crossover between the various Saban groups. The best we got was Power Rangers and Masked Rider, but man, Masked Rider couldn't quite connect on the same wavelength either. Now, here's where Ceasefire, Farewell Through Stooges, Forbidden Past is revealed. Nope. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember. There's a scene where the kid morphed, or, you know, in as the Keeper Ranger, is running screaming, "Mom, Mom!" But I can't remember the episode, so forgive me if it takes a minute. Oh, it's not this episode. Not Farewell Three Stooges. Not that one. A Straight Line to Mom, that sounds promising. Yada yada, there's... Dang it. This is turning out to be harder than I thought. Yada yada, come on, fight, fight, fight. Rangers come in on bikes. Let's see here. We've only got 5 minutes. I will continue this search elsewhere.
Light. Tommy didn't get the most gentle invitation.
Yeah, okay, let's go back to what I remember, which is the white light. Yeah, that's their idea of teleportation. I think the only other teleportation that looked that horrifying was Catbug.
I applaud Jason for accepting his unearned demotion with...
All this human will go
go.
So, Power Rangers, may I assume you are pleased with the new leader of the power team? He's brought the 30 unit of the approach to the Lucian. Here's your Power Ranger. Here's your Rod. So, Power Rangers, may I assume that you are pleased with the new leader of the power team?
This is great.
I applaud Jason for accepting his unearned demotion with such chill. Almost like they had to change that line to match up with the departure of 3 actors.
Yep, 3 actors go bye-bye.
Things went smoothly for Tommy after his return. A new set of friends to round out the Ranger team, the ability to morph without consequence, and he could now best 4 of Zed's monsters on his own.
Let's see here. If I can find this clip, I believe that'll be a good way to close out this editing stream. That's not it. Well, rats. I thought Z-Waves was the fish-themed episode. We'll just have to come back to that.
But the character for Tommy is one that has to face the past, to either surmount it or use it to teach a lesson. His next big test came in Return of the Green Ranger, where he faced an evil counterpart.
Okay, one more.
If you're like me, you can't be evil. Let's face it, we all have our dark sides.
Where the hell are you? We all have our dark sides.
There we go. We all have our dark sides. Let's just take it at that. Because it is just about to hit the top of the hour, and I am tired. I know this might not be the most exciting thing to witness. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Editing requires that you sit and focus very hard, and while that's not physically demanding, it is still draining in its own way. So I'm going to get some dinner and recharge and start converting more files, because goodness knows I don't have enough already. But I appreciate y'all hanging with me and checking this out. And, well, I'm hoping that this video will not only come out soon, but that it will satisfy the wait. I realize I've been a very long time with this. So let's see here. Thank y'all for hanging with me on this. Quick promo. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Daylight Savings Time, I'll be part of Ponyfest Online with Taylor Boy McCardles, So You Want to Be a Community Guest. So that's 2 p.m. EDT, which I guess would make it 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. So I'll look forward, hopefully get to see some folks there. We'll talk about, well, the life of what it means to be a community guest, what a day in the life can be like, and how do you earn a spot as a community guest? Because oddly enough, I don't think fame is the most important aspect, but I'll get into that more with the panel. But until then, everyone, I hope you have just the best weekend and a wonderful time either on your own, with friends and family, whatever suits you. And I mean what I say in this video, that asking for help is one of the bravest and best acts we can do as human beings. So please always keep that in mind. So until next time, be safe and be well. I'm Silver-Quill.